Your town is My Central Nebraska. In this feature, we explore what makes Duncan, Nebraska a unique community. Your Town is My Central Nebraska is brought to you by Tasty Toppings, My Place Bar, and AJ's C-Store.
Duncan, Nebraska, a town small in stature but with a lot of history. The village of Duncan was incorporated on March 7, 1913. Duncan lies between the Loup River and Platte River in Platte County and is located on Highway 30, 8 miles west of Columbus. Several miles south of the village is the Great Platte River Road, which also served as part of the Oregon Trail. North of town is the site of Pawnee Village, as well as the site of the Mormon Trail, which is the route that Brigham Young and the Mormon pioneers traveled to Utah in 1847. Before you enter town from the east on Highway 30, you will run into one of the state's longest-lasting dirt tracks in US 30 Speedway. The track was built in 1985 by owner Abe Lincoln and is now in its 30th season of racing. We visit with first-year track owner Mary Melcher with how she was able to acquire the track.
Last year, my mom approached my husband and I with the opportunity to buy the Speedway. She was ready to retire. Did some financial checking, and a bank actually said yes on the mortgage, and we are now the owners of US 30 Speedway, along with all of our original staff and family helping us run the place we love.
Melcher went on to describe how US 30 is a family-oriented business.
The wonderful part about having the family is everyone's got their own special talents, and we've utilized those to put people in working positions that helps them. Maybe some of the younger ones take care of our social media because I'm not tech savvy. Those with more social skills are in social positions. Those with more managerial skills are doing the paperwork.
Melcher had one more example of the family feeling of the Speedway.
And watching those generations and generations getting to share these things that, unless you're really part of racing, you don't understand. My great nephew still calls it Grandma Sam's track. You know, unfortunately, the great grandkids didn't get to know Grandpa Abe, so they only know it as Grandma Sam's track, and it'll always be Grandma Sam's track, and it doesn't matter what they call it. They know it's home, it's family, and this is what we do. We go racing.
Melcher finished with what you can expect to see at the track this season.
Our normal race night, of course, is Thursday nights. We have the few Sunday fun days where we run the old-time cars and some kids' activities that are hard to run on Thursday nights. We are IMCA sanctioned, so every Thursday night we run IMCA Sport Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, IMCA Hobby Stocks, and IMCA Sport Compacts. And then we rotate between the IMCA Sprint Cars, IMCA Modifieds, and then non-sanctioned limited late models.
Duncan was originally settled by Swiss and Polish immigrants whose enterprising and proud spirit live on through their descendants who still live there today. No place embodies that more than Tasty Toppings, Inc. on the east side of town. Back in the late 40s, Dorothy Lynch was created by none other than the Dorothy Lynch. Tasty Toppings president Kim Bean shared some of the history of the company.
The first plant was in Columbus, and in the late 70s we moved here to this location and in Duncan, and we've been here ever since.
Bean also described the relationship between Tasty Toppings and its partner, Duster's Restaurant.
Tasty Toppings is the parent company of Dorothy Lynch, and Dorothy Lynch is the only product that Tasty Toppings makes. And Duster's is a restaurant that he owns, and of course they serve not only the dressing but also food that features the dressing as an ingredient.
Bean went on to explain the relationship of Tasty Toppings with the rest of the Duncan community.
You know, it's been a great place, for us to get hardworking, people, not from just Duncan, but also from the surrounding communities like Osceola, etc. Most of our employees, were with us from, the time they were 20 years old until they retired, and we have younger workers now because some of the ones were over here, worked here for over 30 years, and so it's been a really good relationship.
Duncan has played host to many events over the years, but the crown jewel is the Ribfest that will be in its 12th year of existence. Event organizer Gary Schlesinger describes the goal of the event and what to expect for entertainment.
It's a fundraiser for the Duncan Volunteer Fire Department and the Duncan Youth Wrestling Club. In our last 12 years, we draw anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 people every year at it. We bring in 5 award-winning barbecue companies, and we'll bring in 6 bands. This year we have a Poison tribute band. We're coming in there. We have the Red Delicious from Omaha and Glass Onion on Sunday afternoon. We'll have Cowboy Up and Outlawed Roll Band, and Virgil Balmer from Nashville will be joining us in there. Like I said, it's a fundraiser for the fire department and Duncan Youth Wrestling Club.
Schlesinger then shared how the event first got started.
And we started out 12 years ago by trying to figure out how to make some money for both organizations. And after going to the Capital City Ribfest, we figured, why can't we miniaturize this? And so we got it going, started out and see how it went, and it's been a great success for us every single year.
Schlesinger urges everyone to come and enjoy a weekend of fun at the 2015 Duncan Ribfest.
Well, I hope you come down and make it a successful one this year and help out the Duncan Volunteer Fire Department and Duncan Youth Wrestling Club. And we know you'll have a good time, and once you've been here once, you'll be back again.
Our final stop in Duncan takes us to the south edge to a small minority of the town that live right along one of the main tourist attractions of the town. President of Duncan Lakes, Tina Shills, shares how the Duncan Lakes began.
It is my understanding that this used to be an old gravel pit, and I'm not really sure how the houses came about, but they started with about 3 or 4 cabins over on another road, and it just kind of went from there, and it's just become bigger and bigger. We have over 100 cabins out here, some full-time, some just weekenders, as we call them, but it is really one big family out here.
Shills went on to describe the type of community that resides at Duncan Lakes.
It's pretty tight-knit. We all get along really great. You can jump on a four-wheeler or a golf cart any Saturday, Sunday afternoon, or even during the week and just drive around, and you stop at one house and all of a sudden you'll have, 10, 15 golf carts or four-wheelers, and then we just all stand around and talk. And if there's ever anything bad that goes wrong or you need help, it doesn't take much. You ask one person and about 10 people show up to help you.
Shills says there are plenty of things to do out on the lake.
Yes, we have boating, four-wheeling, lots of golf carts. And of course, with anything, we do have rules for everybody's safety, but we're pretty open. I know you'll see a lot of people swimming and floating during the summer. And then we do have a few different organized activities where we do have like a golf tournament, and we do 4th of July activities, and we have a horse balls tournament. So we try to get everybody involved. And on the 4th of July, there's turtle races for the kids, which is a really big thing. It's gotten bigger and bigger every year.
Shills ended saying that Duncan Lakes and Duncan itself is able to be connected in numerous ways.
A lot of the people that are in the town of Duncan probably know somebody out here, and they will come out here. I know if you have, say, a flag on your four-wheeler, you can go back and forth. The Ribfest, of course, is a very big thing. We have a horse balls tournament that coincides with the Ribfest, and I know a lot of people do the horse balls and then they go into the Ribfest. So I just think a lot of people from the town of Duncan know a lot of people from Duncan Lakes, so we just kind of go back and forth.
I'm Ryan Kumpf, reminding you that your town is My Central Nebraska.
Your Town is My Central Nebraska is a production of Digity. All rights reserved.